Welcome to Tetrakey Facebook Live, or Tetrakey TV, as my esteemed business partner likes to call it. Before we go to the ticket to the game and what we need to do, I need to do this. I would like to wish my dad, who turned 70 yesterday, a very, very happy birthday. Like a good father, parent that he is, he follows these, he watches these. So Dad, happy birthday, happy 70th birthday, and wishing you a fantastic year ahead of celebrations for turning that big milestone. So Dad, happy birthday, happy 70th birthday for yesterday. So you haven't come here to listen to me talk about my dad's birthday. You've come here to listen to something that hopefully will challenge you, will question you, which will make you think about things slightly differently. So before we start with that, just a normal reminder to please like and share this with friends, colleagues, acquaintances, future clients, current clients. Please share this with them. Please download our book. So we've got 2 books out. Second one, Accelerating Your Business Performance. Please download it. Please give us some feedback. Please have a go at the activities and see how much of a difference they make to your life and to your business. This is number, I've forgotten, 61. I think it's number 61 of our Facebook Lives. I think Rob will be doing tomorrow night, because I am facilitating a 2-day session with a client, so I'll be working all evening tomorrow night. So Rob will be doing tomorrow night. It's number 61, very exciting. Rob and I are still really excited and energized by these, and we're starting to fight between the two of us as to who's going to do them when we're in different cities and different continents. So yeah, please like, please share, please download the book, please listen to the podcast and look at YouTube. So tonight's content and discussion is around the concept of just gun it and don't overcomplicate your life and your business. So I'm going to just share a couple of story and then some ideas for you to think about. I was watching a documentary, I don't know, 2 months ago, and it was a documentary around NASA and NASA's exploration of Mars. It was fascinating on numerous levels, but there was a point in the documentary where one of the rovers that they used to get around, collect samples, receive the pictures, one of the rovers got stuck. And these rovers have to be moved into a certain position so they can get the energy and the warmth to keep them going, and if they don't get that energy and the warmth, then they are lost. On Mars, it's not as easy as just calling out your tow truck and asking them to come and fix it and repair it for you. Once they get stuck, they're lost forever. So it was critical. NASA were panicking, well, not panicking, but NASA had a job. They had to free this rover as soon as possible, otherwise their whole exploration was dead and buried. Imagine how much money they're spending on getting everything to Mars. So what they had here on Earth is they had a sand pit. Probably they have a more technical term than sand pit. So NASA, I apologise for belittling your state-of-the-art sand thingamajig, but I'm going to call it a sand pit. They had a sand pit, and they had one of their rovers, a replica of the rover, real-life replica, same spec, same everything. And what they did is they put this rover into the sand pit and they got it stuck, basically in exactly the same way as the rover was on Mars. So what did they do? Well, they did everything they could to try and free this rover. 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks, they had the cleverest scientists, the cleverest engineers, the cleverest people they could get their hands on trying to free this rover from the sand pit. 2 weeks. Now they're getting critical now. This is getting now where their whole exploration is in jeopardy if they cannot free this rover. After 2 weeks, they did it. They finally freed the rover. Now, remember, it's NASA we're talking about here, so as most of you, I was imagining they came up with the most complex way where they could take bits of parts off the rover. They could somehow, through robotics, get this thing down. They could do this, they could do it. Nope. Nope, that's not what they did. What they did, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. What NASA did to free this rover is they put it in reverse and gunned it. Yep, put it in reverse and gunned it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks it took them to work out that all they had to do to free the rover was put it in reverse and floor it. Yep, imagine how much money, time and effort they've wasted. Now think about yourself, think about your business, and think about some of the challenges that you're facing. Think about, what is your rover? What's your rover? And what is holding that rover back? What is your sandpit? So I want to ask yourself the question now to think about a rover and think about a sandpit. And then think about how you are trying to free the rover from the sandpit. Are you going to do a NASA? Are you going to go and complicate things and think about everything you can? Or are you going to simplify your problem and tackle the problem with the simplest solution first? Cross that one off the list if it doesn't work, and then move to the next one, next one, next one, and then only get to the most complicated when you've exhausted all your other possibilities. Now, one interesting way to do this is when we have problems, a lot of the times, if we're brave enough, and not all of us are brave enough, we'll ask for help. And a lot of times we'll ask for help, so we'll think about the problem, we'll go, this problem entails, let's just say, financial challenges, cash flow challenges, whatever it is. We're going to go and see an accountant. And what is an accountant going to do? And again, I'm just using an accountant as an example. An accountant is going to leverage on their knowledge and their expertise, and are going to apply their knowledge and expertise to solve the problem in the way that they are trained and the way they operate. Now, what happens if that problem does not require that kind of solution methodology? So what's another alternative? Well, why not think about, if it's a cash flow problem, think about somebody who's completely unrelated to that field, who's going to come at it from a completely different viewpoint, who's going to think about just shoving it in reverse and gun it. And it's something I do on a daily basis as I face challenges of bringing up my son and challenges that question certain things. And I love asking my 7-year-old boy the question that I'm thinking about. And it's incredible how many times he's come up with a solution that for a million years I could have sat and thought about it, and I would have never come up with that solution. Now, sometimes his solutions are slightly strange, like, Daddy, just do a wrap and it will come better, or put your head in the sand and put some fertilizer and you'll grow taller. Now, they're not really the most realistic things to do. But my point is, getting somebody who is completely unrelated to the situation or the problem that you're facing may identify other alternatives or other thought processes that you just can't do. Not because you haven't got the capability, but because you've got the blinkers, because you're so used to viewing the world in a certain way that your brain is wired to come up with a solution in a certain way, and sometimes it's not required. So your challenge, ladies and gents, is to think about what your rover is. What's the challenge that you are currently facing? What's the problem that you're grappling with? And then think about the sandpit. So think about the thing that's holding it in. What is the challenge that is encompassing your problem? And then I want you to think about somebody who is, or something that's completely unrelated to the problem, unrelated to your business. It could be your kid. Have you ever asked your kid what to do in a business situation? I have. It's fascinating. It's brilliant fun. So again, find somebody who's not, don't go to an accountant for a cash flow thing. Don't go to a lawyer for a legal question. First and foremost, think about the simplest solution you can before you go and look at the expertise that's going to take you a different direction. So that's my challenge. That's my thought for you today is think about NASA. Think about NASA taking 2 weeks just to put their rover in reverse and gun it. Imagine if they had got my 7-year-old son to look at that rover, what would he said? He said, well, if you drive like Daddy, just put it in reverse and gun it. Imagine if they got a 7-year-old. But again, you have to be brave enough. Would NASA have been brave enough to ask to get a 7-year-old to come in and look at these kind of problems? But my point is, think about alternative ways to come up with a solution and be brave to ask the question. We do not know everything, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who is willing and has some solutions for you to think about. So there we go. That's the message for Tetrakey from Tetrakey tonight. Just gun it. Don't overcomplicate your life and business. Think about knocking off the simplest solution first before you go to the complicated ones. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will save you a lot of time, energy and stress. So I wish you a fantastic rest of the day, rest of the evening. To our friends and followers around the world, Australia, Canada, UK, South Africa, US, have a great day, and I will speak to you shortly. Good evening, bye.